Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm DarkJack, and in this video I get over 60 kills in the map Plaza in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 playing with my team. And in this video I want to share with you guys what I've learned about discerning whether or not a video game is worth buying before it actually comes out. How do you tell if a video game is worth buying or pre-ordering before it even comes out, before you even get a chance to play it? Now, I don't buy games that are bad. The only games that I buy are games that I know that are going to be good. And if I'm not sure whether or not a game is going to be good or not, I wait until it comes out and I wait to watch the reviews and to play the demo. And I'm going to share with you my tips for judging the quality of a game before it is even released based on the things I'm going to talk about in this video. So first I'm going to talk about where not to go to find out if a game is good or not, to find out if it's going to be fun to play. First off, video game trailers are not a good place to go to find out if a game is going to be fun to play or not, because video game trailers are the absolute worst place you can go to find out if a game is good. Because the entire point of a trailer is to sell you the game. It is not unbiased. It hides the game's blemishes under pre-rendered cutscenes to make you say, wow, I have to go buy this game, or I'm throwing money at the screen but nothing is happening. That's the entire point of a trailer, is to make you go and buy the game. And so game trailers usually show very little actual gameplay. Most of what trailers are in-game cutscenes or pre-rendered footage that doesn't actually appear in the game. And they'll show you gameplay and footage that does not make it into the actual game. And if you look at the game Aliens Colonial Marines, the trailer for that game actually had very little to do with the game itself. It was composed using a high-powered gaming PC, and they made the trailer for that on the PC and not for the console. And so they lied about the next-generation lighting effects, because what they showed in the trailer did not actually appear in the game. It was all pre-rendered footage that was carefully crafted to deceive people into buying the game and pre-ordering it, when in fact the actual game was much different. In the second place, where you should not go to discern whether or not a game is good or not, are video game reviews. Because video game reviews are not the best source to find out if a game is good or not, because video game reviewers disagree with each other. And so what do you do if you go to video game reviews to find out if a game is good or not, when the reviewers give different reviews of a game? How do you know which one is right and which one is wrong when one reviewer gives a game a good score and the other one gives it a terrible score? How do you know who to believe and who to trust? For example, EGM, which is a video game review publication online, they gave the game Halo 4 a 7 out of 10, while the same reviewer gave Aliens Colonial Marines a 9 out of 10, which doesn't make any sense at all, because Aliens Colonial Marines was given a terrible score by everyone else, but whereas Halo 4 was given a generally favorable score, generally a 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10. And so sometimes the people that review games are biased. They're being paid off by the people who are making the game, or the people who are reviewing the game are fanboys. The people who are reviewing the game are judging the game and giving the game an inflated score because they're fans of the series. And that's usually true of Machinima reviews and IGN reviews. I'm not going to name names, but if you look up the games that get 10 out of 10s, you can probably guess. And out of all the major reviews companies, I would say that GameSpot is probably the least biased out of all the companies, and I trust GameSpot reviews over the other companies. Now let's talk about good ways to find whether or not a game is good or not. The first way is through gameplay demos, by playing the game yourself before it actually comes out. But the problem with this is that gameplay demos are rare for major releases, because the company is afraid that people will cancel their pre-order for a game if they don't enjoy the demo, even though it's just a demo. And bad games don't get demos before the game is released for this exact reason, because they know that if people play the demo, they will cancel their pre-order. And so when you play a demo, the company is putting their best foot forward, and don't expect the actual game to be much better than the demo, because they're putting the best part of the game in the demo. And so they're not going to intentionally put a really bad section of the game in the demo, because they know that people will cancel their pre-order if that's the case. And so demos are a very good way to discern if a game is good or not, because you're playing the actual game, even though the game itself may not be representative of what the demo is. The second way is through watching raw gameplay footage, and watch as much as possible if you're on the fence about buying a game. And for me personally, I was on the fence about pre-ordering God of War Ascension, but after watching about 30 minutes of gameplay footage, I came to the conclusion that this game is going to be as good as God of War 3 or even better, so I decided to pre-order it and to buy the game new, rather than waiting to buy the game used. But watching raw gameplay footage can spoil the game because you'll watch too much, and so when you play the actual game, you already know what's going to happen. And so don't watch a lot of raw gameplay footage if you know you're going to buy the game for certain. And the third and final way of discerning whether or not a game is good before it comes out is the quality of previous games in the series. And that's why sequels are so common, because people know that if they make a good IP, if they have a good game, if they make a sequel to it, it's going to sell well, because people know that the sequels are rarely worse than the first one because of better graphics and they have more money to work with. And gaming companies are very risk adverse. They don't want to make new IPs because new IPs are very risky. They instead want to make sequels, which are very profitable. And that's why you see all these video games with numbers in them, and lots of prequels and sequels. And this the same thing with movies too. So you've got the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you've got the Star Wars trilogy, you've got all these trilogies and sequels and prequels, because they know they'll make money because people will go out and watch them because they enjoyed the first one. It's the same with games too. So in summary, video game reviews and trailers are not a great place to go, whereas game demos, raw gameplay footage, and knowing how good the games are in this series are an excellent way to find out whether or not a game is worth buying. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary, and I'll see you guys later.
Good strike. Weapon away.
Big win, job done.
Good effects. Targets destroyed.